What did you want to talk about for this game? What do you want me to ask him?
Well, honestly, I wanted to get Goat's take on what we saw from Patrick Williams in his first game back. Yeah. We haven't even gotten to that.
Why even go there?
Because we going there.
Because I want to hear what Goat said. Did you guys talk to Pat after this game?
No, we did not talk to Patrick. We were kind of spending more time in the Hornets locker room today talking to Taj than in the Bulls, quite frankly. But I think, look, it was not a good game from Patrick, but I wanted to say what I just said about Giddey because I think it applies to Patrick too. This was one game in December. This is not the whole evaluation of him. Obviously, him coming back from a 10-game absence, he played 14 minutes and was, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 5 on threes. Not a good game from him by any stretch, but it was one game, and I think he'll continue to work his way back into form. But I also think that there are some positive signs there, like Billy mentioned this, and we've talked about it a couple weeks ago when he was playing. Like, I feel like there's kind of a light bulb that has flicked on in his mind where when they're playing small or when they are in transition and there's a cross match and he's got a guard on him, he kind of understands, like, okay, I'm going straight to the block. And I feel like he did that a couple of times. Billy called that out as well. But yeah, I mean, overall, not the best Patrick game. But I'm kind of treating it the same way that I'm treating the Giddey game, which was like, we know what we know about Patrick. And it's going to take longer than just one game back after a 10-game absence for me to really change my opinion about him.
Will, did it surprise you of when Patrick Williams got his minutes? Because we saw THT, we saw Lonzo, we saw Modest, we saw Sanogo all get in there before Patrick was able to. Did that surprise you, or were you like, that's just par for the course?
Well, we knew he was going to be on a 20 to 24 minutes limit tonight. And so it didn't surprise me that he wasn't starting. Billy has said in the past that, like, especially when you're on a minutes limit, it's really hard if you want to close with a guy to also start him, because then there's those like long gaps during the middle of the game where you're just on the bench. And I think that can be hard for guys. So it didn't really surprise me. I think what surprised me more is just like kind of how they used him. I mean, Vooch was obviously out tonight. They had Jalen Smith starting, and then Adama played a little bit as backup 5, but they also went small with Patrick at the 5. We were able to do a little bit more switching. They even like tried to get him the ball, not saying like they were making him the point guard, but like they were inbounding to him to get the ball up ahead quickly to try to get into their, zoom or pistol actions, to try to just like initiate the offense, which is something that we don't typically see from Patrick. So I think Billy was trying to give him a little bit more responsibility or new responsibility and just kind of test out some stuff with him, which I think is good. I think that's what they should be doing this year in general. But yeah, I think the fact that he only played, 14 minutes on a night where he had a 20 to 24 minutes limit, like maybe a little weird, but again, I think they're just being cautious with him in terms of preventing inflammation or further aggravation with that foot. So one game sample, I think we'll see how that progresses on Monday, but definitely something to keep an eye on.
Didn't necessarily think it was Billy Donovan proving a point that he was the last man of Billy's rotation to enter the game.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how it goes on Monday before we make any calls on that, I'd say.
Okay. I thought it was interesting.
That's fair.
Thought it was interesting that Pat was the last one to check into that game.
We all silly like the mayor.